Hey, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome to today's live Soulful Friday. Welcome back if you've been here before. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny and manifesting the life you desire. I go live every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so please be sure to join us. Quick reminder, recap, and for anyone new here, if you would like a free reading and to be added to the list, please click the link in the pinned comment. If you would like a deeper, more in-depth reading, I do offer 3, 5 or 7 card readings, which also include a Q jump. Please check the pinned comment as well. If anyone's interested in a private reading, they are available via Zoom or recorded video. The link is in my bio. A reminder of how I read. So I'm an energy reader, tuning into your energy and your situation, anyone else in that situation, to help you bring clarity and insight. I don't do yes/no questions or timeline. Please provide as much context as possible when asking your question. It allows me to connect with you and your situation. Please also hold your question until called. And if you are called and there's no response, I will have to skip, obviously, just to keep things moving and be respectful to other people who are waiting. But that's everything. I'll just throw up a quick disclaimer and then Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. It should never replace professional advice, whether medical, legal, financial or otherwise. Always use your own judgment and intuition when making decisions. Hey to everyone in the chat. Lovely to see you there. I will post the list soon. And thank you so much. I see that you've booked a reading, and thank you Tia Bia for your booking. So I'll get to those first and then I will get to the free reading. Hey Luna, hey Archana, Kristen, Chanley. No worries, Kristen. Thanks for letting me know. If Luna is here, I'll just check. You're not on the list, so you will need to click the link in the pinned comment if you want a free reading, just to let you know. So Anne, my love, if you were here, and I'm using the Muse Tarot deck for anyone interested. So Anne, my love, I didn't see your question in PayPal. I don't know if it's there. If you're okay, happy to share your question in the chat. Thanks, Tia, for posting your question. Anne's got a petted reading too, Tia, so just obviously you will be next. I'll just read for Anne. Just to quickly answer Danny's question, I could look at the energy surrounding that, Danny, and that could give us some deeper insight for sure. Okay. So Anne asks, I've been on a long journey in love since 2022 with several emotional setbacks. In 2023, I was about to get married but had to call it off. The most recent person is still holding on, saying it's not God's will, as mentioned in our previous reading. I now feel the energy of the Ace of Swords, clarity, is being gained. Okay, that's good news. But I'm still feeling drained and unsure. How can I recognize a genuine long-term partner when they appear? Yeah, I just think as well that you saying that you're feeling drained and unsure, that can often be like a red flag with a person, Anne, as well. Just point that out. And Anne says, what signs or energy should I trust to know they're truly meant for me? Good question. Thank you, Tia. So So what signs or energy? Spirit, can you help us with this, please, with Anne's question there? What I'm going to do is, this is the spread that I've used for a very long time. Please let me know if you're okay with this, Anne. Of how the signs and energy you should trust. So I'm going to do body, mind, spirit, of how you should be feeling when you're connecting with the right person who's truly meant for you. Let's see what comes through. Interesting. Oh. So we start off with the Four of Emotions, which I think is how you're actually feeling now. Dejected, down, like you mentioned, those energies of feeling drained and unsure, maybe feeling quite down on yourself as well, because you know, if we go through love and it doesn't work out, it's very hard not to internalize this, yeah, and blame ourselves. And this is like the Three Cups, maybe even the three experiences. I don't know if these could represent literally connections that you've had, Anne. I don't know if three is that from what you've said there, if that was the... Anyway, if it's literal or just symbolic, these Three Cups really represent connections that you've had that have felt and led to disappointments, yeah? But there is this fourth cup here, which is very hopeful. And this fourth cup can, to me, there's a couple of messages. It's about trusting our intuition that there is another person out there who has more to offer. Okay, can you see how much what I'm drawn to here is how much bigger this cup is in comparison to these three cups here? And there's something that has felt limited in all of these three cups, be it circumstantial, be it the actual person not having an open heart, or the emotional intelligence and depth, or, you know, just not being able to offer you what you need. But this fourth cup feels abundant in many ways. It feels, you know, there isn't limitations on it. That word comes through very strong, where in the past and with these people that you've been dealing with, there's always been limitations set on, you know, why they can't offer you what you deserve, really, Anne. And then there's this sense of relief as well that comes with this Ten of Inspiration, the battles that you've been through. And the Ten of Inspiration is when we get to put down the burden, okay? And there is a sense of closure here as well. What I'm going to do after these cards as well is just pull one more to see about if there is an energetic signature of this person, to see if you recognize that, or it may be someone new. But Ten of Inspiration is being able to get some kind of closure, reaching the end of a cycle, an end of a journey. I know that may be hard for you to feel, because the Ten of Inspiration is also that feeling of burnout, it can be a real, you know, it is a very testing period to carry on and to keep searching. As well, it might be, you know, if you feel like, because to me it is kind of a red flag maybe that this person the latest person has made you feel drained as well. Maybe we do need to regroup and take our energy back and just focus on ourselves, so that we're not looking for love in that place of burnout. It's not good to lead with that. But the Ten of Inspiration is about coming to an ending of this difficult period, coming to an end, something being released and a struggle being released, which in order can bring through this ace of whatever comes next, a new beginning. Now, interestingly here as well, we've got the Devil energy, which is about not doing what we've done in the past, breaking chains, behaviors that we repeat, patterns that we repeat. I don't know if you recognize them in yourself. I mean, all we can do is keep our side of the street clean. Okay, we can be doing everything right and we can still connect with a person who isn't right for us or doesn't have the right energy to offer us. So I don't but it's also worth reflecting on stuff maybe that we don't recognize when going into partnerships. Let me know if this resonates, about behaviors that we repeat that we need to release and let go of in the past as well. There's sort of a lot of releasing energy here, closure, endings, cutting ties. Maybe if you know with this person now who you're dealing with limitations, again, they're putting limitations on it. Maybe we need to cut them loose. You know, in the past, would we stick it out and put our energy into them hoping that it would change? And that's a waste of energy. That may resonate for you, Anne. And lastly, I want to ask who this person is. And you might recognize them. It might be someone that you know, or it might be a new energy. Who is this fourth cup, which doesn't have limitations on the love that they have to offer you? Yeah. Reciprocity. So there is someone out there who can meet you with balance, without limitations, with what you're able to give to the situation and they're able to give back to you. The 6 card, whenever we see a 6 in the cards, it's all about balance. And when it's materials, this feels like an abundant energy. It can also be that practically, you know, say financially and in work as well, that they can offer you something on that level as well. But it mainly feels like a stable energy. There's something unstable about the connections that we've made previously, and this person feels grounded. They may be an earth sign, with it being materials, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or have that in their chart. But can you see how you are mirroring each other? And it's a very uplifting energy, and it's a balanced energy. It's like when you can meet someone who is your equal, Anne. So I hope that resonated. Some quite intense messages there, but also some hopeful messages. This is where you are now. There is a fourth cup. There is an ending of this struggle. We need to release and put a stop to behaviours that don't serve us, or hanging on to people that aren't good for us. And the energetic signature of the person who, you know, how to, the question being how to recognise this person, how they will make you feel, is it will have a sense of equality, of balance, and no limitations. So I hope that resonated, Anne. I'm glad that resonated. Awesome. Right, I'm just going to head over. So guys, for the free readings, I will get to them. We just have some booked readings. So thank you, Anne. Thank you, Tia Bia. I'm just now moving on to Tia Bia's booked reading. So thank you for your patience. If anyone else would like a booked reading, the link is also in the pinned comment, and it does include a Q jump. So Tia has booked a 7-card reading. Yeah, I'll post the list, Chani, before I read for Tia. Guys who have booked as well, I hope Anne's still here. Stick around for your 1-card reading as well if you would like. You might have some follow-up questions after your paid reading, so you could use that or for whatever you want to ask. So Anne, I hope you haven't left, but I should have said that before. So Tia, right, I'll just go back to Tia's question. I know she's posted it up here. So Tia asks, energy check-in on Jay the Leo. Saw him again and it was pleasant. That's good. However, that girl, the Libra, yeah, tried to start drama. Oh no. Once she realised me and the Leo were cool again. She also has a boyfriend. Oof. Not sure what her deal is, but would love to see feelings, actions of Jay the Leo towards me. Absolutely, Tia. So Tia, this is for you, my love. Awesome, Anne. I'm glad you got that message. Just going to do a check-in with O as well. Tia Bea with the Libra, how he's feeling about her. I know we did see that like in-out energy. For me, it felt like it didn't carry much weight to it. That obviously doesn't stop people from bringing the drama. But let's focus first on his feelings for you and his likely actions. Interesting, that's card we just had. Mirroring each other's energy. This is a really nice card. Six of Materials. Balanced. Look at this burst of energy here. Mirroring each other's feelings, okay? Like, you know, I almost feel like this is when you meet each other. There's a happiness, isn't there, here from seeing each other. There's a real sort of almost like a force field of energy between you. So we're mirroring each other at the moment. We've got Eight of Inspiration, which is fast moving energy towards you. An awakening, heart opening, having epiphanies about how he feels about you. Tia. This is a major arcana. This is it's like what it touches on this card. It's obviously like what it says on the tin with it's an awakening. Yeah, awakening of feelings, realizations is the word that comes to mind. He is having realizations about this connection, and realizing what's gone on in the past. I think like that he messed up here, that it's like has a kind of karmic energy to it as well, about realizing that he made a mistake here by messing things up with you or not capitalizing on the opportunity with you. And his energy as well at the very center between these two is like a forward motion coming towards you. Eight of Inspiration is Wands as well, so that's fire, which is about action. It's about following our passions. It's about being in a place of following our heart's desires. So these are all really positive, yeah? This is weighty, major arcana here to say that he's having realizations, epiphanies, you know, light bulb moments are going off, heart chakra space is opening, we've got action towards you, movement, and then we've got this mirroring, which I feel very strongly is like when you are meeting, that the vibes are very good, yeah? And then we have the Hanged Man, which is interesting. This is about a need to have a change of perspective, which the process may already have started happening with this. I believe it has, with this awakening energy. Okay, the Hanged Man is when things are uncomfortable. Okay, well, obviously this person is upside down and there is a kind of a feeling of being stuck, wanting change. I know that the Leo has been through recent losses as well, and this can be part of a wake-up call for him and a change in perspective, which I think is, you know, it doesn't happen overnight, but I feel like it has begun. We see this eye here, this all-seeing eye, which is again sort of having revelations, having epiphanies. Seven of Inspiration. This is about holding space, having boundaries. I'm going to dig into that more, because Seven of Inspiration is about we've got some anxiety here with the Nine of Voices as well. Worries, fears, being up at night about what comes next. And then we've got this Seven of Inspiration, which is about being in quite, it can either be about being in a defensive place, but it can also be about defending, like not being pushed into something. I wonder if this is to do with the Libra. Spirit, tell me more about the Seven of Inspiration and the Nine of Voices. Bridge this gap for me. Through materials, wanting to work together, work this out, work this through, ultimately having the same goal, being a team, working together. And these are the, so that's good to see. That's where he, because this layer in a way, this line here is about what action that he's going to take. Okay, so he does want to work with you on this tier. He's still engaged in this. There are some worries, there are some fears, some anxiety coming from somewhere. I don't know where that's rooted in. Maybe scared even about being very direct to you about this tier, about sharing these new feelings, these new awakenings. And then we have Four of Inspiration, building a solid foundation, commitment. This could be a message, a double message in here for you too as well about this Seven of Inspiration, about you holding space for this. Keeping boundaries with it as well, so we're not repeating the past, which I'm sure that you will do if you and the Leo begin to get closer. But it's also about holding space, I think, for you in this connection as well. And that's what you have actually always done, I believe, and will continue to do. So I feel like maybe this is also your part in this. Let's just have a look at her energy. Oh, how funny is this? This is exactly the same card tier. The Knight of Inspiration. This is, I think this is, or did we get the Page of Inspiration? Very similar energy. I think we had the Page of Inspiration, Knight of Inspiration. This is to do with her. This is Spirit doubling down on the message to me, saying, Seer, I told you about this person. It's in our energy. It's not stable. It comes in fast. It leaves just as fast. It has a flighty energy, okay? Have I lost connection? Just let me know. I'm worried if I'm still... Oh, Samreen. So, yeah, we are still taking free readings. So, that's funny. That's Spirit saying, I've already told you about this person. It's nothing to worry about. So, some tricky energy here, some difficulties, but also some very positive here, wanting to work it out, wanting to work together, still having the same goal in mind, being ready. I feel like I do feel a maturity, which I saw last time for Jay the Leo, that's happened. So now wanting to build more of a solid foundation. And then all their feelings towards you here are super positive, and there is a change of perspective happening. So I hope it resonated here. probably just here for entertainment, to be cynical. You know, the inspiration, night of inspiration, can be like a physical thing, okay? Physical attraction, a physical relationship, that's the pull, that's the draw. So that's what I feel like this is, okay? If you're confused why it's still entertaining it, I think it's for those reasons, okay? Keep us posted. Let us know how this develops. Stick around for your 1-card reading tier as well if you do want that. But going over to the 3 and also tier, like obviously rewatch that. You might get bits from it that pop out to you as well. Archana, my love, please post your question. I'm going to close the free readings now. Samreen, just get on the list there if you want a free reading before I close the list. But number 1 on the list we have Archana, hoping that you are still here. Like I say, Samreen, if you want to be on the list, please click the link. Hey Archana, please post your question, my love. Awesome. Sorry, I have a bit of a delay on the chat, I think, so sometimes I like repeat myself because I think that you haven't answered, but you have, but it just hasn't come through to me. So I'm just letting Samreen know that last time I let you know, Samreen, you need to click the link in the pinned comment if you want a free reading, because you're currently not on the list, okay? So Archana asks, what is Sarinvas Rao's energy towards me? Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Any changes? Let's do a check-in, Archana, and have a look. Seven of Voices, okay, this is interesting to me. Archana, this is about, so Seven of Voices is, you know, it touches on again, say, the difficulties that you've had in the past in this connection. And what I think the main thing to focus on here, or the main focus if we want to see progress in this connection, which obviously you do, is this is about rebuilding trust. Because the Seven of Voices is when you have felt that someone has maybe tried to get away with something, or has been, you know, we have a fox energy here, which traditionally, like, I love foxes, but they get a bad rap, okay, foxes, and they're sort of known as being underhand by nature and kind of sneaky, sneaky energy and untrustworthy energy. Very misunderstood, but anyway, that's what they are representing also here in this card. This is almost you here that I see, like there's a person here with a fox's head, but there is a road forward here, Archana, okay? This is the path, this is hopeful. There is a road forward to another gateway, to a transition, to movement, and to changing the dynamic of this relationship. And what needs to happen is that the trust needs to be rebuilt here. So this obviously takes time, effort, and I think it's about you being, if you can, I don't know how much, I know contact has maybe been totally blocked right now, and you might just energetically have to hold this connection, but it's about being consistent and really letting this person know, letting Srinivas Rao know that you really do mean what you say. You can be someone who they can rely on now. You are to be trusted. You do say want to explore this connection or be with them, yeah? Be consistent and show up and really like prove yourself. Not blocked, but no contact. So obviously we don't want to like bombard this person if they don't want to speak right now. But you may, you know, if the timing did feel right, you know, would it be okay to share a heartfelt message and continue to show up, yeah? Like, no, I really do want this. I really am sorry for mistakes that I've made in the past. I would really like, we can still do that and be respectful. Okay, until someone says, no, you know, leave me alone, I don't want this. You know, and then we have to hear that and respect that. But it's also, you know, striking that balance. It's okay to try to rebuild trust. So sharing a heartfelt message, letting them know how you feel, that you really do mean what you say. Write them a letter even, if that's possible. You know, sometimes it has more weight and meaning if it's a letter, even nowadays in these modern times. Or an email or a text, you know, it doesn't really, on the other hand, you know, if that's the easiest way. Really kind of, you know, I wouldn't, it needs more than, respect is important over love. Absolutely, Archana. So maybe really take some time in crafting together a message. You know, this is going to take more than just a hi, you know, it's me, I'm back, you know, can we meet, can we talk? It's going to need more than that. So I hope that resonated, Archana. I hope maybe food for thought there. Hey, Danny baby, lovely to see you. Second live in a row. I'm there, nice to see. I hope you've got time to ask a question, but I know you might be working. Devea, you will need to hit the link in the pinned comment. If you want to be added to the list, and then I'm just going to close the list after that. So Devea, our Danny baby's on the list, awesome. Devea, you, thank you, Danny. I really appreciate that. So Devea, please hit the link in the pinned comment. And then I just need to close the list now so I can make sure I can get through to everyone. You're on the list, Samreen. What I'll do, Danny, because I know that you struggle now to, I'll obviously read for you, Danny, so that you can watch it back, because I know it's hard for you to get here, okay? So I'll ask you to post your question. If you have to go and I haven't read for you, Danny baby, then post your question, okay? Before you go, so that when I do get to the list, I can read for you, if that makes sense. Okay. Oh, sorry, Devea. Sorry, Devea, I'm lost. I appreciate you. You're next on the list. And there I am. Telling you to go on the list. Sorry. Sorry, Devea. My bad. My bad. Being bossy. Right, Devea, this is for you. You have the opportunity to buy a piece of land. How exciting. Can you please check the energy around it? I sure can. Sorry about that, Devea. Let's have a look at the energy around this land. Yeah, no worries, Danny. Let's have a look at the energy around this piece of land, Spirit. It's exciting. That's my dream, to own some land. Oof. Fortuitous, Devea. Major Arcana. Good fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is about when fate turns in your favour, okay? Like luck is on your side. It can often be after a period of struggle sometimes, upheaval, or maybe just stagnation. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It can be a period of stillness though, or a period, yeah, of struggle. So tell you what resonates there, but we kind of, it's also about the effort that you've put in, Devea. So if you've been working hard to maybe save up for this land, or to wait for the right opportunity, and it's this effort that you've been consistently putting in, and then what happens is that we get to the top of the wheel and it's like the energy shifts, and it's when the universe, it's kind of like all that hard work and pushing that it pays off, and it's like Spirit really feels like it's with you, yeah? And there is a sense of flow. Things begin to move fast, things begin to happen. So I would say that this is a good omen, Devea, with this Wheel of Fortune. It's positive change, it's good change. It can lead to helping with your finances as well, financial growth, financial stability. Yeah, there we go. 8 of Materials, again, more finances, more money, more like that hard work paying off. 8 of Materials is about being very diligent, being very consistent. This is you. This is like your good energy, Devea, here, paying off. Been a difficult journey, but you've really stuck in there, yeah? That's you. Look at you multitasking as well, like having 1,000,001 things to do here with all these arms, juggling your responsibilities, but you've managed to keep all this, you've managed to keep it all going, Devea. So the energies, to directly answer your question regarding this piece of land, is very positive. And it feels like it's connected to this hard work paying off. So I hope that resonates, Devea. Both very good energies there. Okay, so next on the list we have Anne Franklin, if you want to ask your free question. And then after Anne we have Kristen. I'm glad that resonates, Devea. Looks like you've been doing an awful lot there, but you've managed it and you've succeeded with that. So kudos to you for hanging in with that. Anne Franklin asks, what will be the key strength of my relationship with this upcoming new person? This fourth cup. The key strength is with this Ace of Inspiration, it just feels very alive, and I think it will inspire you in ways that it will help you and in even other areas of your life, that you will maybe, you know, if you feel supported and held by someone, and like, you know, that balance that we touched on about this person, I think what it will bring you is inspiration and maybe the energy. Yeah, because I know, say now that you said that you touched on feeling drained, and this is like the opposite of that. It's feeling inspired, it's feeling energetic, it's fire energy. So it kind of gets our thoughts going. If you think about this, like, it changes the way that we view things, and I think it has a very expansive energy. So it also will seep into getting you thinking and maybe giving you courage to expand in other areas of your life as well, maybe in career or just your outlook, that there is a sense of it expanding. It's the difference between a radiator and a drain, if you've heard that kind of expression or something similar. I'm sure you have, about, you know, if we're drained by people, then we just are giving. But if we are, and some people's are radiators, where they are bringing something to our life, warming us up, and then we can do more. It allows us to do more in other areas of our life, not just in love and romance. Yeah, and that's what it feels like. It will open your mind and make you think about things differently, and also inspire you to do new things, do different things, things that maybe you thought before, oh, I couldn't do that. And this gives you the courage to push yourself in those ways, Anne. So I hope that resonates. Hey, Mbali, oh, I'm sorry, yes. Hopefully you can catch me on Monday. I'm trying to stick to like 11:30 a.m. GMT time, if that works for people. Just so you know the time frame, it's shifted slightly, so it is a bit earlier now. So Anne, I hope that resonated. Next up we have Kristen, my love. If you are still here, let me know and post your question, please. I'm glad it resonated, Anne. Thank you for letting me know. Maybe Kristen isn't here, or I know sometimes there's a delay, sometimes in the chat coming through. So just so guys, so we know, if you want to post your questions, so I can just keep things going. We've got Kristen, then we've got Tia Bia, and then we've got Chanley. So if you want to post your questions, and I'll just read whoever posts first. Kristen, Tia Bia, Chanley. And I'll just hang fire a minute because it takes time to come through to me. You're still on the list, Danny. You are coming up soon, so thanks for your patience. You're actually right after Chanley, Danny. Thank you, Tia. Tia asks, how will... Oh, okay. Thank you, Tia. How will Jay the Leo respond to the gift I plan to give him? Oh, that jumped out. Five of Voices. I feel like it'll be healing. What I'm drawn to is this mistletoe that is between you. Obviously, mistletoe traditionally is what we stand beneath when we kiss. And I think it'll be healing because the Five of Voices is about the difficulties of the past. I think, Tia, that you've had maybe some harsh words, those sharp edges, yeah? That's what the Five of Voices energy, it's about discord and arguments. But what I'm drawn to is this bright light, okay? And this mistletoe, that it's like that. Can you see how it's like this hand is reaching in, isn't it, to give a gift? And I think that's partly maybe the intention behind this as well, obviously to offer your condolences, say, or that you recognise that he's suffering and what he's going through, but also with regards to this relationship and this connection, that it has healing properties in it, yeah? And I think he will understand that, okay? That will certainly be the effect as well, T, that it'll have. It has good energy. I feel like it will touch his heart. Okay, Chanley. What's the next thing Spirit would like to tell me? I have awakened my third eye. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know, Danny. Okay. With that bright light here, I think, yeah, that it will be a bright light, you know, in a way it will have that quality, that warmth to it. Okay, Chanley. What's the next thing Spirit would like to tell me? So, after this third eye opening, what's next? Major Arcana, Chanley. This is about your strength. This is about your courage. This is about, as well, I think, just continuing on this journey, Chanley, with bravery, with courage that you have already proved, you know, yourself. I feel like, Chanley, on this path. This is your energy. This is who you are. This is what you bring. There might be, Chanley, as well, a specific situation that will require you to dig deep, and to draw on this strength and to draw on this courage. You know, often people think that, like, being on a spiritual path, they take it quite lightly. People can be quite dismissive, as if it's like airy fairy and woo woo, whatever you want to call it, lightweight for some reason, yeah. But it's actually a spiritual path to lead that takes an enormous amount of bravery and strength and courage, and we're constantly in today's world being trying to be pulled off our spiritual path and not be true to ourselves and not stick to our guns and what we believe in and lead a spiritual life, yeah. So I think it's also touching on that like the strength it will take as well to continue down this path. When the third eye opens as well, that opens you up to a lot of things, and we need to stay grounded and we need to stay centered as well, so we don't lose our footing. So that was the message from Spirit. So next up we have Danny Carmona. So yeah, sorry Danny baby if that was a mix up with regards, there's two Dannys here. So this is Danny Carmona is next. If you want to pose your question, Danny Carmona. And then we have One Hooligan for Life, if you're here. And we have Nettie. So please go ahead and post your question. Hi Danny Carmona. So Danny Carmona, One Hooligan for Life, and Nettie, if you're still here, please go ahead and post your question, my dear. Thank you, Danny. Danny says, currently in a long distance situation with Pisces named Lance. Yeah, I know we've looked at Lance before. He promised to not sleep with anyone else. He told me that he has been keeping his word. Is he being faithful? Okay, let's have a look at, obviously this is the energy surrounding it. As you know, Danny, I know that you asked before, I don't do yes no questions, but I can certainly look at the energy around Lance, see if there's any kind of deception here is the word. Muse of Voices, King of Swords. This reads positive to me, actually, because what comes to mind is that the King of Swords, or the Muse of Voices in this deck, is committed, really above all else things, to truth. And they can actually be brutally honest. They kind of land on that side. Bear with me. They, like I say, they can be brutally honest when it actually comes to speaking their mind and how they communicate. They can be very direct. They are, it has air energy, yeah? So, which is more like, this is that they can be quite strategic and operate more from their head rather than their heart. But the main message in answer to your question is, what comes through is like that I don't think that they would just, I feel like they're more the type of person that really they would just tell you, you know, I want to have an open relationship, or that's not what I want. Like, they wouldn't benefit particularly from them. They wouldn't really want to lie to you about it. They would just be open about what they wanted. Gonna ask one more because I'm nosy. Would you say, do they have, I mean, I know Pisces traditionally can be a bit more dreamy than what, but obviously they'll have lots of, you know, their ascendant or their moon sign can be influencing this side of their character, where I do feel like that they kind of pull no punches really, Danny, when it actually comes down to it. And if they would just tell you what they wanted rather than feeling like they would have to lie to you, if that makes sense. Anything else, Spirit? Yeah, 10 of emotions, emotional fulfillment. This is like a lovely energy and blessing about this connection. And also, I think, like, touches on a softer side of them, that they do seek like a genuine connection and a real commitment, if that's something that you want as well, Danny. I see that in them, that they are actually searching for something real and something emotionally fulfilling. And therefore, again, that would also, they kind of understand that lying or deception would fly in the face of this, okay? So I think you can trust them. So I hope that resonated, Danny. Thank you, Nettie. Nettie asks, I was seeing a counsellor and out of the blue she stopped seeing me. Oh dear. Is that like a therapist, Nettie, or like a school counsellor? You're welcome, Danny. I hope that resonated. That's really quite hurtful, Nettie. I'm sorry to hear that. Out of the blue, she stopped seeing me. That's very unprofessional as well. I've texted her, but she will not answer me. Dreadful. You too, Chanley. Let's have a look, Nettie. What went wrong? Page of materials. what first came through when I saw this, Nettie, was that I feel like that you will maybe hear back from them, but in time. But obviously they've done this to you, so I kind of feel like this is maybe not wise to continue and explore, because they have broke your trust here, Nettie, okay? But the Page of Materials is about, I can see that you're still connected in some ways, okay? That it's still like the energetic tie hasn't been cut, but there is delays and there is slow moving energy here, with it being the Page of Materials. So I imagine that you might further down the line, Nettie, get some kind of explanation, get some kind of communication, but it almost feels like it will come too late. Oh, therapist, so that's like really, you know, I would say, is there anyone that you can like make a complaint to or anything, Nettie, about this? Because that's very, I don't know if it was done through what's the word, like a larger operation, you know, was if they're part of that, or if it was a private therapist. But I also would advise you, I would say, you know, if they do reach out, or when you do get an explanation, which I see coming through, I would advise you not to revisit this. I don't know if you feel, obviously free will, but you know, this is a very bad bad behavior, you know, broken trust, etc. A Tower moment. It could be that they're going through a Tower moment. They have their own stress, they have their own, something big has happened in their life, and that's why I don't think it's between you and them. I don't see bad energy between you and them. But obviously that doesn't excuse this behavior. The Tower moment, like I say, it can be sudden changes, a shock, a loss, you know, something very disruptive happening in their life, which could have thrown them off, distracted them, and they've not kept up with their responsibilities. No excuse, nonetheless, as a therapist, you know. There's nothing that we can always make the time to let someone know and be respectful, yeah. But that's given us information as to why this has happened. A Tower moment in their life, and that's why I think, makes me think that you will, once they kind of come out of this more and regroup, that you'll probably hear from them again. But I personally, obviously free will, personally would say trust has been broken, and I would look for another therapist. I hope that resonated, Nettie. And if you can make a complaint, if there is a body to report to, she works for herself, or so you can't. Well, I would, yeah, cut her loose, Nettie, cut her loose. Eco 7, if you were here, my dear. Absolutely, Nettie, I was very hurt. That's like very like wounding, very unprofessional, Nettie, just to drop someone like that. I have family members who are therapists, and they would never behave in that way, you know. It would be, it's a big no-no. I'm sorry that you had to experience that. It looks to be from the cards, though, I'll just say this and then move on to Eco 7, but it looks to me like there's something, you know, drama, disruption, upheaval that has gone on in her personal life, which has then brought on her, kind of like not holding up her end of the responsibilities. I do see that you'll probably hear from her again in the future, but I would just obviously shut this down. You can't trust her again. Keep us posted, Nettie. Keep us posted. I would advise to look for, if you can, to make steps to look for another therapist. One thing as well, I don't know if, anyway, because she works for herself, she'll still be part of an organisation. So you could report her there. I think there's like a board, you know, a therapist board, but you might not want to waste your energy on that. Right, Eco 7. May I know the energy surrounding my startup work that is stuck at the moment due to unexpected tech issues? Oof, how annoying. A lot of disruption. What's next for the movement going forward? Okay. Page of Emotions, a sense of flow returning for you, Eco 7. So trust and believe in that, hold space for that. There's something as well that I think is coming through, that there'll be a shift about, it can be hard, okay, when we get hit by practical issues on stuff that we feel, you know, I imagine that this startup is very close to your heart, okay, has meaning and brings you joy. And I feel like there's a return to that as well. So be intentional about, you know, holding space for that as well, that remembering why you did this, okay? It will pass, and I feel like that you will return to be able to, you know, this whole process is sort of opening your heart, is coming from an open-hearted space. Like the reason why we kind of do these startups and our own business is because we are following our passions, okay? If we just kind of want a job that's like a paycheck, then we would just search for, you know, employment, and then it would be a lot less stressful on many levels, because you can just sort of turn up, you've got a guaranteed paycheck and everything, stuff like that, yeah? And when we get all these blocks, it can get in the way of this feeling, you know, this open-hearted feeling and the potential and the joy that this can actually bring us. So it's a reminder that to hold space for this, that once we can overcome these obstacles, that we can return to this, and also lead, not being not a tech person as well, and then you're in the outside your comfort zone, there's a sense of losing control. But yeah, I feel like this is a reminder and a promise also of returning back to this kind of feeling, you know, being creative, being your own boss, doing your own hours, you know, and we're not trying to recreate a corporate environment. We are trying to So it's like working with the divine feminine energy as well. I always think when we're kind of doing our own business, there's an ebb and flow with energy. There is an ebb and flow with business. Corporations don't allow for this. They're always go, go, go. There is no allowance for ebb and flow. But when we do our own business and operate, create something different, create something new that aligns with our spirit and feeds us, it's all that good stuff. It's still there, Eco 7, okay? And you will get back to that. You probably feel like that's been missing because you've been bogged down with these technical roadblocks. Hold on to that feeling of that card. And manifest overcoming these difficulties as well. Okay, I will try and focus on some manifestation about these tech problems being worked out for you easily, swiftly, if you do practice manifestation. Country, my love, if you were here. So just so everyone knows where we're at, we have Country, Samreen Tech, and then Danny Baby, last but not least. Thank you, Country, my love. What's with the weird energy surrounding the connection between... Oh, DJ and I currently, he's a bit distant. Let's have a look, Country. Major Arcana, the Moon. It's when we're being kept in the dark here, the Moon. Some information is missing and it can bring up, understandably, insecurities, fears. So something makes me think that something's going on for him that he hasn't opened up to you about yet, Country. It will become clear, it will come in time. But it's because your intuition, is your spidey senses are tingling because there is some kind of hidden information here. Something going on with him, which he is not sharing with you. I'll ask one more card to see if we can get any information about what it is that he's not sharing with you. And then this is, we all do it. It's like when we're kept in the dark, we can feel that, we can internalize that and fill in the blanks with our insecurities and with our fears, yeah? Spirit, can you tell us anything about what is being hidden, the nature of what is being hidden? Another Major Arcana, interestingly. This is about, so this card is, as it says, it's an awakening. It has a kind of epiphany energy, so it's like coming to a realization about something, about a situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be about this connection, Country, even between, you and him. I feel like it may be about something else that's going on for him outside of this connection. Country says, I've certainly filled in the blanks for my insecurities and fears. Yeah. Welcome to the club, Country. We all do it, hey? I can't relate to people who don't. I mean, it could even be with this awakening that there's actually, like, interestingly, about what also comes through as a message is that it can be about, because you can see how this person's heart is opening, that there could even be a deepening of feelings here of what he's feeling for you. And that could be making him feel rattled. Because awakening, this card, this energy, yeah, it's not negative. You know, this is like expansion, spiritual growth, personal growth. It has that kind of vibes, that kind of energy. So there's quite a big shift going on. Last card. DJ. Let's go. Oh, and another major arcana. Would you believe it? This is wild, country. There is like 3 major arcanas that have come through for you here. So there is big energy here. It doesn't feel, it's not a small thing what's happening, okay? When we see 3 major arcanas, that's like there's a big shift here. The Magician is about manifesting our dreams and desires, bringing our vision into the 3D, bringing it into reality. Awakening is personal growth, spiritual awakening. This is all his energy, okay? And then the Moon is, it's like these shifts these big shifts are happening for him. But maybe he's not sharing them with you. He's not able to communicate. I don't think he's sharing them with anyone. Right, I don't think anything negative. Yeah, it doesn't feel negative here, but it's just in the silence and in the dark. It's hard not to, like we say, fill it in with our fears and insecurities. So your job, country, is just to try to manage that on your side. I don't know if you have, you know, how much does he share with what's going on for him? Is he an introvert? Is he someone who would keep this to himself? Yeah, it will come out, it will be revealed in time. Probably best, like you say, to leave it alone and be patient and allow him to share it. Just be open, even just energetically, to hearing what he has to say and to share, but also trusting that he will share it in his own time. It could be, like I say, a deepening of feelings for you that are bubbling under the surface, you know, and then need to come up and be shared, and he will tell you when he's ready. Or it could be another area of, like, but he's having realizations. He is bringing a manifestation, so a dream, into his reality. But it has made him withdraw. He internalizes his pain and pretends everything is peachy, yeah, but I can feel it when he's not himself. Ultimately, this is, like you said, though, this is positive by nature, whatever's going on for him. But it's still, if he's naturally someone who internalizes things in order to process, he will hold on to that until he's ready to share. So yeah, like I said, your job in the meantime is just to manage those moon energies, those moon feelings. Trust yet as well that, you know, there is something going on. There is a shift happening here. Energetically, something is going on for him, and it will come out in divine timing. You're very welcome, country. So next up we have Samreen, my love. If you are still here, thank you for your patience. And then last but not least, we have Danny Baby. If you are still here, please post your questions, my dears. Thank you, Samreen. Samreen asks, I want to know about the current energy between me and my ex, Hamad. Sure thing, Samreen. Are we in no contact, Samreen? Let's see what comes through. Queen of Voices. Bit of spiky energy here. Communication, speaking our truth, being direct. Oh, so yes, we're in no contact, but you see each other every day. How tricky is that? So the Queen of Voices, okay, so, or this is Queen of Swords, pulls no punches, okay, Samreen. They are very direct and they are also strategic, so they don't lead from a particularly emotional place. It's almost about being strategic about what outcome do you want, Samreen, okay? So if you want reconciliation, if you want, I think the big question here as well is that there's the need for clarity maybe about what went on or where you stand. This is the energy of the situation. So between, the question being about the energy between you and your ex, okay? So this is not anyone's specific, it's the energy of the connection and what's needed, yeah? And what's needed is clarity, and I think also what's needed is honesty. So if, I don't know if they are open to this, or if you feel like you could lead this energetically, Samreen, about being more direct and about being more honest about how you feel in order to bring some clarity to this situation. Anything else, Spirit? I don't know if maybe both of you or one of you might be tiptoeing around certain issues, okay? Because you're scared maybe that this will bring total closure to, you know, the connection. He doesn't want to speak to you no matter what, so he's totally closed off. Well, how do you deal with that then? There's no way around that for now. It still stands that that you need to have this kind of difficult conversation, like a all cards on the table conversation, in order to move forward. But if they're closed off to this and blocking to it, you know, that is free will. Let's have a look at his energy specifically. Whoa. interesting. We have the Four of Inspiration, which is a card about there is still feelings here. You're manifesting. That's good to hear. So manifesting, overcoming that block, Samreen, that is the best thing to do in this time frame. So that's wonderful to hear. Visualize, meditate, journal, yeah, and it will come through that shift, because the Four of Inspiration tells me that it shook your table, yeah. There is still a desire here for commitment, for connection. Can you see these good vibes here? For inspiration, if we think of four, that is like stability, yeah? It's like laying a strong foundation for a relationship. It's like that building block. So there is potential here for you to rebuild, for you to reset, start with a solid foundation and build from there. And the potential and possibility for long-term commitment. This is almost like what you're visualizing as well, but this was their energy. So it is behind that frostiness, behind that closed door of where they're at now. What, you don't have to give us too much detail, Samreen, but what brought this to an end? Do they feel hurt? Did someone mess up? Did it fizzle out? You know, it feels like there's some, you know, because there's that block that they're putting up, but behind that block there is still love. In essence, there is still love, there is still hope for commitment. Hey Ivo, lovely to see you. Final messages, Spirit, final message. There we go, Ace of Voices. This is getting new communication, new beginnings here. It happening for you, Samreen. There will be some kind of breakthrough, because the Ace of Voices is new communication, new information coming through. So I feel like this wall, there will be a crack in this wall, and this is connected to, this will kind of lead, it will open the door to be able to bring in this kind of Queen of Voices energy, which is about leading with honesty, directness, strong communication, and getting the clarity that you need and want in order to move forward. And this is like that first steps of that. It might start small, with just little bits of communication. I feel like with it being an ace, it's like the very just beginnings of a few words here, few words there. And then we move into this Queen of Voices where it develops into a full-blown conversation. I still do see, like I say, feelings and need, wants, desires to be in a commitment with you still. You're welcome, Samreen. So, last but not least, Danny baby, are you still here? Or did you post your question before? No. So I hope you are still here. I hope you're well, Ivo. Nice to see you. Danny baby, I think she might have left. I did ask her to leave her question, but maybe she's been pulled away. Okay. I don't think Danny Baby's here. So I will end the live now. I'll be back live on, please check out, just as you see there in the chat, my latest pick a card reading as well is up. You're meant for more. What the universe is preparing you for. Please do check that out. But I'll catch you guys all on Monday. I hope to see you there. Love and light. Have a good weekend.